Hey everybody, it's Rory from ANSgear. We're upstairs with the Virtue goggles today. So we've got the Vio Ascend goggle that we're going to look at. There are 4 colors in the Ascend. There is a black, a red, a green, and a camouflage, which they call the Highlander camo. You can see them in front of me right here. We're going to open up one of these boxes and then we're going to look at the goggle and see what's going on with it. So I think these are all sealed except for that one. So let's take this one. It's the camouflage one. And move these out of the way. And we've got just this one in front of us right now. So our box just has, some of the stuff that's available for it. Obviously, there's lenses that are available, a visor, and the fan that you can get for it, the pad on the back side you can get for it, extra foam you can get for it, all that stuff if you need to replace parts or accessorize your goggle in any way. Open it up. This is going to come right out. Underneath it in the bag here, we've got your goggle bag. And then we've got just some information, basic stuff. Obviously, there's always going to be a warning in there. And then how to remove your lenses and then how to lock your lenses back in. Pretty simple stuff, but we're going to do that in just a second. We're going to pull the lenses out of this one. Let me just put this back in here. All right. I'm going to throw that back in there. All right, so here we go. We've got our Ascend goggle right here. We've got a Virtue strap on the back, basic chin strap on the bottom, and it is a snap style, so you do need to line them up and push them together, and they will click together. If you push them to release, you can pop it straight apart. The strap on the back does have silicone on the inside to help it keep it from sliding around. And then just the standard adjustment where you pull apart to make it tighter or you bring them closer together to loosen it up, however you need to do it. Now the ears are all molded into the front. So this goggle is one large molded front piece. The ears aren't separate from the chin, which is then separate from the nose or anything like that. It's all one uniform piece that goes all the way around. Normally, when you see a goggle that is one uniform piece all the way around, it is usually pretty stiff. The Ascend goggle is stiff, but it is not rigid like hard plastic. As you can see, I can bend this under right here. I can bend this backwards. I can move it around, so it is not hard plastic, but it is definitely going to offer protection. It is not rubbery like a ProFlex bottom or something like that. It does have some bend and some give to it, but it also has good rigidity as well. So it's kind of got the best of both worlds going on right there. On the inside, we've got our dual layer foam right there. The foam is nice and soft and comfortable. The bridge is nice and wide. So if you have a larger nose, it might be a goggle to look into. The lenses are fairly simple to remove. They say you can push these down with your thumb. And I think maybe after doing it a couple times, you probably could get it to come out with your thumb. On a brand new goggle like this, I've had to use like a flathead screwdriver just to push the pin or the tab down. It makes it easier, especially if you have to do a lot of goggles. Your thumb's going to hurt. But it just makes it a little bit easier. I think it makes it a little bit easier. And I think after you've done it a couple times, you probably could wear the part in a little bit where you could release it with your thumb. But let's look at it right here. So on the inside right here, there is a tab that you need to push down and it will hinge down and then it allow it to slide out. When it slides in, the hinge is going to pop up and lock itself in place so that it can't slide out. What you need to do with this little hinge, though, is before you try to push it down, you have to slide it forward. Because when it slides back like it is right now, that hinge locks in place and it can't be pressed down. So if the locking mechanism is all the way back and you try to force that pin down, it won't move. And you guess you could possibly break it if you tried hard enough. So what you have to do is you have to slide it forward like that. This will allow the hinge to then move down, and then you push it down, and then you can slide it out. My best luck is with a flathead screwdriver. I push that hinge forward so I know that it's in the forward position, and then I can push it all the way down, and then I can slide it back a little bit, and it's starting to move, and then I can just wiggle it the rest of the way out. And here's that kind of hinge we're talking about right here. So this is the piece you push down with your thumb. And these two little tabs that you see right here, when the mechanism is locked, when this is slid back in its locked position, these two tabs fit over a piece of the mechanism here, and it doesn't allow it to be pushed down. So you see my screwdriver's underneath that tab. If I was to try to push that, it wouldn't go anywhere. That's why you need to slide it forward so you get it off of that tab, and then you can push the hinge down and slide it out. So let's do the same thing to the other side. I'm going to push my lock forward. I'm going to push the hinge down. I'm going to slide it out. Just like that. Very, very easy. Once that happens, and I've got my two hinges and tabs out, these two pieces right here will actually fold in. You can see they're on a little bit of a hinge on both sides right here. So we can fold that in like that. And then we can fold the other side in. That exposes your lens that's on the inside right here. And we can just push that with our thumbs, and we can slide our lens right out. And then we've got our lens right here. Make sure you remove your film before you go out there and try to play in it. That's why they put that big sticker in there, so that you're not out there trying to look through a yellow lens going like, oh man, why is it so foggy and murky? Well, you got to peel that part off right there. All right. So that has how to get the lens out. To put the lens back in, you basically just do the opposite of that, which we will do in just a second. If you needed to replace anything foam-wise, you want to pick your lens out, and then you could pop your foams out and then replace your foams. Everything just kind of snaps out from this position right here, if you needed to. All right. Let's put it back together. And again, you can just see how flexible this piece is. And this is up in the top right here. It's got a little more strength to it. We've got the foam. We've got the backing to the foam, so it's going to give it some strength up top. But yeah, it's a nice goggle. Take our lens, put our earpiece or our tabs in first. We're going to slide them all the way to the back. Make sure that it is fully seated. If you have some sort of like microfiber or anything like that, I usually use that, and I'll push on the lens to make sure that it's seated in its place. From there, you just take these little rotating earpieces and push them back into position. And then when they're fully in their back position, then we can slide the hinge back through. So one thing you want to remember is this piece has a little nubbin on it right here, and that goes in to the slot that's in the lens right there. So you want to make sure that's all the way pushed out. If you have it like set like this, so it's not all the way pushed back, and then you put this through here, you try to lock your tab back in place, you're not actually locking the lens to the piece right here. This is just locking the tab into this piece, but you're not securing the lens in place. So make sure that your lens and your rotation piece, I don't know what they call that piece, but the part that moves, are all the way together and forced as far out as they can be. Then you can slide your tab in there. Like that. And then once you've slid it all the way in, then you want to pull it back and lock it in place and make sure that you can't move that. Do the same thing to the other side. Make sure that that's fully to the side. And I'm going to hold on to it. I'm pushing it all the way in with my finger there. Take my tab, line it up, and lock it into place and pull it back. And there we go. I'm going to check both of these, make sure they can't move. So I'm good and secure. And there I go. Nice little goggle here. This is the Virtue Ascend. Comes in 4 different colors. The camouflage, the Highlander camo. And then we've got the red. I'm going to pull these all out just so you can see them. It's hard to see them when they're in the box. We've got the red. which is red and black. And we've got the all black right there, and green right there. So the red and the black come with smoke lenses in them. The Highlander camo comes with a clear lens in it. And the green one comes with like a mirrored green lens in it as well. There you go. So that's it. That's your Virtue Ascend goggle. It's in stock at ANSgear. You can get it with any of the lens combinations that you want on it. So get on the website, check out all the lens options, and pick up your Ascend goggle today at ANSgear.com.